So I'm Mike Ashton. I'm the head of HR at EMS Healthcare, who are based in Ellesmere Port. I came to the HR industry quite late on in my career. I've been working in retail management and realised that HR was something that I wanted to pursue and wanted to get into. So I took my qualifications quite late, so I was 27, 28 when I took my CIPD qualifications. And that then opened the door to get into all kinds of opportunities and careers within HR. I studied something completely unrelated to HR at sixth form college and at university, and went to work in retail management after I finished my degree. And I realised that wasn't what I wanted to do in the long term. So I went through an online training provider to access my HR qualification, and that then opened up all kinds of opportunities for me within this industry, which has been great. When I was working in retail management, it's probably 50% managing people and 50% managing processes and stock and everything else. And I found that the bit that I enjoyed the most was getting to know people, working with people. I'm good at having conversations with people and talking to people. And what I found was that actually, in terms of HR as an industry, that just fitted in with A, what I was good at, and B, what I enjoyed doing. And as soon as I'd made that discovery, I would never go back into doing anything else. Yeah, so I guess the bonus from a HR side is that every company will have a HR department, and there's always opportunities available at all different levels. Because the HR industry typically come in at an entry-level role and then go through CIPD level 3, 5, 7, and you move up through the levels. And there's always gaps for people to join and fill back in. And there's also, which is quite nice actually, in the local area, quite a few HR apprenticeship opportunities as well, which is always really good to see, because it gives people the opportunity, similar to myself, whether they're coming in new or whether they're changing careers, to get that qualification whilst they're learning on the job and working at the same time, which I think is great. Yeah, so typically within HR, you start as a HR administrator, and generally speaking, HR administrator entry-level roles, people would look for the GCSEs at the required level, standard sort of English and maths. The reasoning for that is because most of those entry-level HR admin roles will offer the opportunity to do the CIPD level 3. Frustratingly, there are roles out there that do require any applicant to have 1 year's experience in HR, which is always the challenge for new people getting into the industry. But if you do look around, there are people out there who are looking to give people that first opportunity and to do the apprenticeship in that role, which is great and always one to look out for. Yeah, it's a really interesting question. I think because the HR industry deals with people and people's challenges on a day-to-day, the challenges that we face within the industry are the challenges that everyone faces in the world at the minute. So whether that be the cost of living crisis, which we're finding a lot of our colleagues are feeling squeezed, are having challenges outside of work with their finances, and also just the general sort of feeling at the minute of uncertainty around the climate and around the wider world. So in terms of what we're doing in our business, I guess a couple of different strands to it. We provide all of our colleagues with access to a discount platform, which they can use and access exclusive discounts on things like the weekly shop. But we also, an extra level above that is we offer people some guidance and training on on how to manage their money and manage their investments, whether that be from budgeting side of things right the way through to pensions, because one of the biggest gaps that we find with people coming into the world of work is no one at schools or colleges seems to teach people about how to manage the day-to-day money, what a mortgage looks like, what a loan looks like, how it all works from that side. So we've done quite a bit of work with our colleagues around working with that. And then when it comes to the environment, we really pride ourselves on our work around all things environmental. From little things, we've got solar panels on the roof of the building, which you can see behind me. We've had volunteering days where we've gone out and done various different environmental causes, and we've got a champion within our office who sort of leads it from the colleague side. So yeah, lots of different challenges, but some quite innovative approaches that HR teams can take to help people with that. Yeah, so within the HR industry, the career opportunities are quite varied, and give you a couple of different sort of pathways. So you always have the opportunity within HR to stay in the generalist space, so to work in sort of HR where you look after recruitment, training, development, employee relations, everything. And in general, at smaller companies and medium companies like EMS, all of our HR team are generalists. We do have the opportunity as well to specialise. So from that starting point of coming in at an entry level, you can then decide to specialise in something like recruitment or training or employee relations. And there's loads of different pathways along from that, and qualifications that sort of take you along that pathway. In terms of our business, at EMS, we're a growing business. So what that means is that we're constantly increasing the number of colleagues that we have in the business, and as a consequence of that, when we do increase our colleague numbers, you do need a bigger and bigger HR team. So we grew our team by 2 people this time last year. And then going into the future, we probably look to take on another entry-level HR administrator to backfill the other guys in the team who will have progressed through being here and getting their qualifications. So that's sort of how I see it progressing in the future. And I think most small to medium businesses would probably be in the same kind of position. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I guess if we're talking sort of in general about new colleagues in our business, we'd always want people to be good communicators. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to be confident standing up in front of big crowds of people at all, but to be personable, to be confident in conversation with each other is really important. A lot of work that we do is with external clients and talking to members of the public, talking to NHS trusts, whatever that might be. So to be able to have someone who's friendly, welcoming, engaging in conversation is really important. I think the other side of things is someone who's willing to learn. We're a growing business, so everyone here is learning all the time. I certainly am every day. So we want someone to come in who's confident, friendly, and wants to learn and wants to progress going forward. So I think that realistically within HR, one of the big things that you need is to be a very good listener, and to be empathetic with people. And in terms of that skill, the skill of listening is one that's quite rare, and is a bit of a challenge to find in the market. And to have somebody who listens and genuinely cares about the people that they work with is a really important starting point. And certainly if we're talking around the HR space and entry level HR roles, that's the basis that you'd want, is somebody who is a good communicator, listens and cares about the people around them. Yeah, absolutely. I think because HR is the kind of career where most people come in at an entry level and learn as they go and progress as they go. I've got a colleague who works in a business nearby who who started off as a general administrator, and did a little bit of work for the HR team in her office, a little bit of work for the operations team, wasn't focused on anything in particular. The head HR noticed something in her and saw that she had that empathy and that natural communication, took her on as a HR administrator. 12 months later, she then got put through a CIPD level 3. And then since then, over the next 15, 20 years, she's progressed, she's excelled, worked for a couple of big businesses in the local area, big employers, and is now the HR manager at a medium-sized business in the local area as well. So I think what I'd say about that is it demonstrates that quite a common career path in HR is not necessarily coming in with a HR degree and coming in right at the top. Most people come in an entry-level role, get their qualifications as they go, and learn and progress through that experience. But that's just one of many. There's loads of people who are in the same boat.